Hello, everyone. My name's Keoia or Xander, and I'd like to first and foremost say this video is like entirely unscripted and I'm like kind of filmed raw. So please ignore any sort of like stutters or lost words or anything like that. As I said, it's just entirely unscripted and I'm just kind of going for it. Um, Give it that little bit of authenticity, I guess. But as I said, my name is Xander or Keoia, either or. And I basically wanted to come on and do like a little bit of like an introduction kind of thing, explain who I am and like kind of what I've been trying to do over the last couple of years, and especially what I would like to like continue doing and where I'd like to end up being, I guess. It's kind of a way to like hold myself accountable to these kind of like goals and aspirations and whatever. If I post it, tell everybody that this is where I want to be and like what I want to do, then it's kind of a way to basically tell myself to you know you gotta kick up the arse and actually do stuff. Um, but I've kind of been streaming for like a little while now. I started streaming back in 2018 when I was like 12, streaming straight from my Xbox. Um, Streaming things like Overwatch and Siege and these kind of things. Super inconsistently. It was horrible quality as well as you might expect streaming straight from an Xbox. Um, but I kind of figured out that that's something I really enjoyed doing. The feeling of going live and just being on stream, playing and having a bit of fun was always something that I liked the thought of, and especially when I started it, I kind of then realized that's exactly what I wanted to do. Um, After about a year of like uber inconsistently streaming through that, I switched to PC. I got a PC in like 2019, and again was streaming the same sort of things, Siege and Overwatch, a lot of Apex as well at one point. I had like a little like niche uh, of streaming all the like Assassin's Creed games. That lasted a little while. I didn't really enjoy it, but I enjoyed Assassin's Creed, but I didn't enjoy the thought of that being my thing. Um, so that didn't last too long. But after switching to PC and streaming all these kind of like Overwatch and Siege and these kind of things, I fell in love with it even harder. It was something I really, really enjoyed doing. I tried sticking to it as much as I could. It was something that I genuinely had a lot of fun doing. Um, and I streamed under like so many different aliases. I think I started off under like Infamous or something. I think I started off fully as like Xander 2006, a username my dad picked for me when I first when I first got my Xbox. Um, but I was under Infamous for a while. I was a big fan of Infamous Second Son, so that's where I got the Infamous from. Um, I was Mizu Overwatch at one point, and then I was Sora EXE. I had so many different usernames. Zardo was the main one that I had, and the one that came just before. Um, I went on this kind of like long hiatus. Um, but as I said, I was streaming kind of like bits and pieces here and there of like everything. Kind of streamed whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I didn't have this sort of like vision of what I wanted to do. I just kind of did it for the love of the game. I was enjoying it. I was having fun, and I was doing what I wanted. Which is normal. That's perfectly fine. But after a while of streaming, I didn't fall out of love with it, but creating the content that I was creating, I didn't enjoy it purely because I was living in the middle of nowhere. And the Wi-Fi where I lived was horrific. It was copper wire from cabinet to home, so it was the fiber optic was going to a cabinet, but then the cabinet didn't have fiber optic. It was a copper cable that went from this cabinet that was outside the village's church and came into my house, and it was really bad. Valorant was literally unplayable on that Wi-Fi. 128 tick rate servers do not work well on copper cables. I'm sure you know if you also run copper cables. Um, but anyways, the Wi-Fi was absolutely atrocious where I lived. If I was streaming, my game was either one incredibly laggy or two, the stream itself was horrific quality. It was one of the two, sometimes even both. It was really bad. It couldn't hold like a 4,000 kilobit bit rate. It would drop to like under 2,000 sometimes. And if you know anything about bitrate, that is really bad for especially like things like Overwatch, where there's a lot of colors, a lot of movement, these kind of things. Absolutely horrible. And that kind of the quality of the stream reflected a lot in like the clips that came out of it as well. So when I was making things like YouTube videos and short form content for things like TikTok and YouTube Shorts as well, I had Instagram Reels at one point. Doesn't really work, I won't lie. But those clips looked atrocious. Short form content just never ever looked good. A YouTube video wasn't so bad, but short form content was so bad. It looked absolutely horrific. And, I don't enjoy posting content that I don't like. So I enjoyed the content I was making. It was just that I hate low quality things. If something's low quality, I usually don't watch it. So my own clips and my own content was so low quality, I just didn't enjoy watching it, no matter how much I enjoyed the clips, no matter how much I enjoyed the entire thing. I just didn't want to watch it because of how low quality it was. So I was streaming a lot at the time, and I was just getting absolutely zero content out of it because a lot of the clips just became absolutely unusable. The quality was so bad that it was almost just unusable, and that kind of like it felt like a kick in the teeth. If I'm being honest, it was horrible. The amount of time I was putting into streaming and getting basically nothing in return. And I don't mean that in the sense of like I was getting no viewers, or I was getting no like subs or anything like that. It was the thought of I'm not getting any content out of this. I'm not getting anything from it. I would stream basically for no reason. I was streaming because I enjoyed it, but after it, there was just nothing. And that was very demotivating. I really didn't like it. So I decided that I was just going to take a long break. I was going to go on a hiatus. I was going to stop, and I was only going to come back whether the village I lived in got like full fiber to the home, or I moved out. And since I kind of quit, and went on this hiatus, I went to uni. I've been at uni for this is my third year now, and I moved out for my third year. So that's what came first. The village did not get any good Wi-Fi. Still doesn't have good Wi-Fi, and so probably won't have any Wi-Fi until like 2030 or something, which is really poor, really really poor. But yeah, I moved out, and I'm now better Wi-Fi. Quality of everything is so much better. Upgraded like all my equipment over the years as well, so it's everything's like good, ready to go, and I'm just kind of ready to get back into it. Um, but as I said, I didn't really have any like kind of like vision of what I was doing. I was just streaming whatever and whenever I wanted. I didn't know what kind of creator I wanted to be. I was just doing literally whatever I wanted, which isn't a problem. But sometimes it's nice to have that kind of clear focus of what it is you want to do. And since going to uni, I joined the esports society, and I remember sitting before actually starting at uni. I went through all the list of my university societies, and I was like, esports, the fuck would join that? I did, and I became the president 2 years in a row now. So it's funny how things work, isn't it? Um, but since joining the esports society, I initially joined it just to find friends and find people to play games with. But since joining there, I've actually realized that esports is something I really really enjoy. I've always been a really competitive person, and you might not believe me when I say this, but I enjoyed a lot of sports as well when I was a kid. But the second I got into gaming, I completely forgot about sports. I completely forgot about sports, and I fell in love with gaming. And I just played. I played. I played. I played. I never really fell into esports naturally, other than since coming to uni, which is weird. I don't know how that ever happened. I don't know how I missed out on things like League. Like I don't know how I missed out on League esports for years. No idea how that happened, but anyways, I fell into it eventually, and I've realized it is something I really really enjoy. Um, I enjoy watching it. I enjoy partaking in it. I compete collegiately for my university as well. At least I used to. But as I said, since joining that, I've realized that esports is something I really really enjoy. It's something I want to do. I don't want to be a player. I don't want to be a coach or anything like that. I'd like to work within esports though. And the main dream, the main aspiration that I have for esports is I would like to end up being a personality within esports, whether that's as a like co-streamer or just a like streaming personality, a caster, a host, an analyst, any of these kind of like roles. That's where I'd like to be. I honestly, at this point, I will take anything. I would just at the moment I'm a tournament admin for University Student Showdown. It's a brand new tournament that's started up in replace of Newell. Um is that tournament is kind of dying a little bit. So USS has started up. I've become a tournament admin for it. But those kind of things, it's experience and it's connections. That's all I care about. But I think going forward, I'm going to see if I can pick up more production roles and these kind of things, especially for USS, as I'm already established with the tournament directors, um, and that's what I would hopefully move on to do next is production, preferably as a set of caster, Valorant mainly. I forgot to kind of mention that it's Valorant mainly that I do. Now at least Valorant and Siege the main two, but being a caster in esports is something that I would absolutely love to do. VCT Americas caster, Sideshow is my goat. Um, Fellow man from the UK. So it's nice to see that you can kind of be wherever you want, from wherever you are, and kind of go wherever you want to be, and do whatever you want to do. So as I said, this video is kind of, first off, to introduce who I am. Second of all, to kind of show that I've been around and I've kind of got like a little bit of experience in doing this kind of stuff. And then third of all was to basically say where I want to go, what I want to do, lay those goals out, lay those aspirations out to everybody, and be able to hold myself accountable in the future. Basically saying, I want this, I want to do this, and I will work towards it. And if I stop working towards it, then I can go back and watch this video and be like, look, it's something you want to do it. I don't know what else to say at this point. If for some reason you watched all 12 minutes of this video, I commend you for that. Thank you. But yes, as I said, my name's Keoia, or Xander. I stream Valorant. I stream Siege. I stream Overwatch sometimes. I'll go back to that. But I will, going forward, mostly just be streaming Valorant. Working on kind of caster skills, I guess. So as I said, if you watched the end of this, thank you very much. But if you want to stick around, I've got all my links down below, as I should. Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, these kind of things. Discord's probably down there as well. So this video is probably going to go unedited as well. So you're going to get everything uncut, raw footage. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say or how else to end this, but thank you very much for watching. And I hope to see you guys on the VCT America stage in the future. Bye.